Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gershwan, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about the Imperial Guard as we get into the Sergeant. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day. And of course, if you have any suggestions for topic ideas, just comment down below. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the Imperial Guard Sergeant. A sergeant is a non-commissioned officer rank within the Astra Militarum. They are the assigned leaders of individual squads and conduct much of the day-to-day training and operations within any platoon of an Imperial Guard regiment. Sergeants are typically well-respected, non-commissioned officers who find a number of leadership roles within the Imperial Guard. Along with their leadership roles, sergeants are tasked with training and general education of their subordinates. They are expected to take new conscripts and turn them from inexperienced civilians into battle-ready and professional guardsmen, typically in a stunningly short amount of time. The institutional memory of the Imperial Guard also lies largely with the sergeants and their colleagues among the non-commissioned officers. These senior enlisted men and women typically have years of hard-earned combat and leadership experience, and tend to have a better grasp of tactics and the necessities of competent command under fire than most of their more superior officers, especially those who have never served in actual combat. It is a wise officer who places his trust in his sergeants, especially when new to a unit. The sergeants typically have the trust and respect of the men under them already, and in some regiments, their support or lack thereof can make or break an officer. Due to their role as both leaders and instructors, sergeants in the Imperial Guard are expected to lead from the front, driving their men to feats of valor and glory, and setting a strong example for junior enlisted men and officers alike. A good sergeant can keep a squad together, even under the most dire of circumstances, using his command skills and the earned trust of his men to quell fear and rally shaken guardsmen under his command. This is not to suggest, however, that all sergeants in the Imperial Guard are highly respected father figures and competent leaders who have the best interest for their men foremost in mind. In an organization as vast and far-ranging as the Imperial Guard, the opposite may be the case. Tyrannical, corrupt, and incompetent sergeants litter the non-commissioned officers' corps. Many find that the power they wield goes to their head, and they take to brutalizing their subordinates. Others find themselves in over their head, and their fear and inability make them dangerous. Many incompetent or brutal sergeants have met their end at the hands of their subordinates, victims of accidents or friendly fire incidences on the battlefield. In general, however, sergeants are a blessing to a squad. Their experience and knowledge is priceless, and surely without the sergeant, the Imperial Guard would suffer greatly. The sergeant rank insignia is indicated imperial-wide as 3 chevrons with little to no variation. In most cases, this is sewn or pinned onto the uniform. However, in more brutal environments, such as the Catachan, where most of the issued gear that would reflect rank has been sold for alcohol or cigars, it is more common to see the rank tattooed or even branded onto the individual's arm. On service and dress uniforms, senior sergeants have varied ways of discerning one from another. Sergeant majors will usually have a star underneath their chevrons, whereas a sergeant assigned to a tactical control will have a skull or wreath in the same location. A master of ordnance will have his own unique insignia, usually a bursting bomb, but tends not to wear it on the surface of planets. This is because the master of ordnance is the primary, if not the only line of communication with the Imperial Navy, and exposing his rank makes him a priority target for snipers. The same philosophy is also applied to many high-ranking officers, and is also why the sergeant, even senior ones, are not referred to by their full rank in the field, and simply called sergeant. The Tactica Imperium only dictates the existence of the ranks of sergeant and veteran sergeant, following the practices of the Adeptus Astartes. But as the need for experience and advisement from non-commissioned corps is required higher and higher into the guard structure, Governor militants have universally adopted the practice of expanding the sergeant rank into multiple other ranks in order to discern one from another. A staff sergeant is the senior sergeant in a platoon. They can also be assigned to the platoon's command squad or to an infantry squad, also known as a platoon sergeant. Above platoon level, Most gunnery sergeants find themselves in charge of munitions and weapons for a company, and are usually assigned positions in company command elements, in charge of a squad deemed critical by the company commander, or as the senior enlisted man in a heavy support detachment. Master sergeants tend to forego the opportunity to become liaisons and advisors to their commanders, and instead focus on one specific duty, such as logistics and supplies to the front lines, commanding a Lehman Russ or Chimera armored transport vehicle, or being in charge of communication at the company level. Unlike a master sergeant, first sergeants become liaisons and advisors to their company commander, and use their battlefield experience to recommend tactics and strategies to their commanding officer. A master gunnery sergeant is usually assigned to oversee all logistics, transport, and supply operations of a full regiment or even higher level of tactical organization. In combat, master gunnery sergeants are usually assigned to command Lehman Russ pattern tanks, or even on the rare occasion, a Band-Blade super heavy tank. Senior master gunnery sergeants will undergo Imperial naval training as a communications officer, and using their knowledge of communications will be assigned to a command squad at the regimental level, or higher as a master of ordnance, who is responsible for calling in all of his regiment's air support from the Imperial Navy. Following the path of a first sergeant, the sergeant major is the senior enlisted advisor and liaison to the regimental commanding officer, or to an even higher rank Imperial Guard officer, and is the senior enlisted man for his entire regiment. When more than one regiment is involved in a campaign, the senior officer, usually a governor militant, will appoint one of the available sergeant majors to the title of Command Sergeant Major, indicating that he is the most senior of the sergeant majors within all of the Imperial forces assigned to that theater for the duration of the campaign. There have been rumors of appointing one sole sergeant major to a new rank called Sergeant Major of the Imperial Guard, to act as the lord and commander of the Imperial Guard's personal liaison and advisors to their rank. But the selection list would be astronomically long, and to this date, such a rank does not exist. While more of an appointment than an actual rank, the title of Color Sergeant is often bestowed upon veterans and senior sergeants, and even sergeant majors, as a reward for years of loyal service in the Imperial Guard. With this reward comes the responsibility of guarding the colors of the Color Sergeant's parent regiment. These sacred flags are carried into battle and are a key source of the average guardsman morale and pride in their regiment. The colors carry each regiment's battle honors, and are the embodiment of the regiment's soul. The loss of colors is not only considered to be bad luck for regiments, but also a source of great shame, dishonor, and an affront to the God Emperor of mankind. Even dropping or allowing the colors to fall in battle is seen as a disgraceful act, so much so that guardsmen are known to willingly lay down their lives in droves so that the colors never touch the ground in the heat of battle. So important are the colors to each individual guardsman and the regiment as a whole. Only sergeants with the fiercest fighting reputation and unwavering loyalty to the Emperor are given the appointment of Color Sergeant. And those were 40 facts on the Imperial Guard Sergeant. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're interested in the ranking system of the Imperial Guard, please check out the wiki page, link down in the description below. They do a really good job of giving you a breakdown of the different units and the ranking system as best as they can, because honestly GW has not put as much attention to the Imperial Guard structure as the Space Marines. And even the Space Marines, their structure is a little blurry right now because of the Primaris Marines, but the wiki page does a really, really good job of breaking it down and trying to make it as comprehensible as possible. The link is going to take you to the Sergeant page, but just go onto the Imperial Guard main page, and then you can take it from there. And again, guys, if you have any suggestions for other topics of Warhammer 40K, just comment down below. Let us know what type of aspects of any race you would want us to talk about. If you have a specific battle or a specific campaign, anything like that, just comment down below and we'll try to create a lore video for you. And again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for everything. Stay tuned because giveaways are coming this weekend for our 100K subscriber appreciation giveaway thingy. Thanks again for everything, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
Always